We are trying things out, and I have no idea how this is going to go. But fortunately, good friend Kevin Phares is here to discuss a lot of different things under the sun. He got some interesting protest footage. We're also going to show him some fun Norm Macdonald clips. All that and more coming up on this episode of Jobob Unlimited. Stay here.
Actually, Jobob.
Jobob is a model citizen.
Live from the dingier of dingy bunkers. My name is Jobob. This is Jobob Unlimited. Thanks so much for tuning in. We've got Kevin Phares here today. Radio personality, Turning Point USA chapter president, former. Have you graduated yet, Colin?
No, I'll graduate in December.
Okay, cool. So like I said, we're kind of just flying by the seat of our pants here. If you're watching this, you're watching kind of an inaugural thing. So appreciate you doing so. But before this, we were chatting. I wanted to, and Kevin, forgive me for treating you like a child, but I don't know if do you know who Norm Macdonald is? Are you aware of him?
I do know who Norm Macdonald is. He was actually, so I got introduced to him from a show. Have you ever heard of the show The Middle?
Oh yeah.
So he played Uncle Rusty, I think was the name of the character. He played Uncle Rusty, and he was the brother of the dad in the show The Middle. And he was just like a very like dry character that could honestly, what he would do is he would like really have like, he would always seem like he just kind of wasn't there a little bit. And then I've seen other clips of Norm Macdonald where he'll just, and I was really sad when he passed away. I've seen him like in cameos and other things, but I loved Norm Macdonald. I always thought he was really funny.
So you're aware who he is?
Yeah.
Have you seen his appearance on The View in the late 90s, early 2000s?
Not that.
Okay.
Because there was one that I saw that, and well, we can watch that one, but there was one that I saw where it was like, well, he basically just comes out. I think it might've been on Jimmy Fallon or something. He was just like, you know, I am gay. Like he said, the reason. Like,
that was
a
Larry King Live. He said, I'm deeply closeted. And he said,
Yeah.
are you coming out right now as a gay man? He said, no. I said, I'm deeply closeted. There's a hilarious thing that I would love to play for you that possibly gets into a little bit of political stuff. But before that, we were chatting about some various encounters that you've had with some people. More specifically on what was this at? Okay, so I'm going to pull this video clip up. Kevin was nice enough to share a link with us, and we're going to watch it together. You want to just set the stage, lay out what's going on in this particular entanglement? Totally.
So this was just last Friday too. So just like a few days ago. And I got this video out real quick because I thought it was awesome. But so it was a Republican Party was bringing in Ron DeSantis to do some fundraising. And so I brought them, so I went out to see it. And outside of the event, this is in Peoria, Illinois, so central Illinois. I went out before the event, and because I had a media pass to go in and cover the event and everything, but I went out and met with some of the protesters outside of it. I want to know what they were saying, especially being in Illinois. I mean, bringing in somebody who runs a free state of Florida, and then we got the lockdown state of Illinois. I wanted to know what these Illinoisans had such an issue with Ron DeSantis coming to come to talk to us. So I went outside to the protest where they were holding an impromptu drag show on the sidewalk of this Midwestern city. So so I go out and talk to them, and I just ask them simply, I just want to know, why are you protesting? What are you out here protesting?
What are you doing here? Okay. So this is a little bit long. I don't want to sit here and drag you through the entirety of it. What's if you were to give what's the most solid 5 minutes, and we can go through and pause and do all of those sorts of fun things?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, do a little bit. You could start off from the beginning, and then we'll go probably each quarter of the video. Like if you go each quarter.
All right. So here's Kevin angering some libs. Check it out.
How is everybody doing today?
Hold on. Wait. Okay. So we're 5 seconds in. I'm pausing, and I would like to have some clarification here.
Yep.
So you didn't even say anything? You're just a cisgendered white man in a suit, so they just automatically think that's the bad guy? Is that what happened?
Pretty much. So exactly. And so I cut, that's from a little bit later in the video, but I cut it at the beginning because I just thought it was so funny how I'm walking into the middle of everybody. This is when I'm getting into the center, more of the center of the protest. And I just ask, how's everybody doing? And I just go, and I didn't know half of these people. But yeah, so I do a little bit of an intro. You can skip forward a little bit. You can hear me talking.
Okay, let's go to the yeah. We'll go to
right
you
there, right
talking to
about there.
people's
Yeah.
eyes. Okay, here's another thing, really quick. I and maybe we can talk about this more later on.
Mhm.
Well, no, I'll save.
Okay. Okay.
We'll let it go.
Reproductive rights.
So reproductive rights, you mean abortion, then, right?
I mean, reproductive rights.
You won't say abortion. That was
Women's
like a
rights
big
for health
thing.
care.
And
And
this
hey,
lady
you're a
chimes in.
man, so I don't think any man has any right.
I actually identify as a woman.
Okay, great. Wonderful.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
And I hear about LaHood. He said that Illinois doesn't tolerate hate. And Darren LaHood is one of the promoters of hate in Illinois. And he should step down and step aside.
In what way does Darren LaHood promote hate?
Darren LaHood was the Trump state organizer, and now he is
Okay, so
advocating
pause
and
it there,
inviting and
pause it there.
welcoming
So
the governor.
a few things. So first, you hear me? She goes, well, you're a man, so you shouldn't have an opinion. I just go, I identify as a woman. Did you hear that?
I like how she just blindly accepted it. There's no pushback at all. Just okay. Well, then let me move on to my next point because
Yeah.
that's
because there was nothing. And then she goes in about Congressman Darren LaHood. He's the congressman of the area, big Republican congressman. And I think the funniest thing to me is she's like, he promotes hate. And I'm like, how does he promote hate? And her first thing out of her mouth was, well, he supported Trump.
yes, hate.
And I just think it's so like, it wasn't like she couldn't point to like a specific instance in which he had said something overtly racist or like anything. She couldn't find anything. It was, oh, well, he was the field organizer for Trump, so he must be racist, right?
Well, you know what's interesting to me too, and this is kind of going back even further into what the first thing was. We're talking about you said abortion. They don't want to call it what it is, which this is part of like the language games, and I'm curious, like in your realm, given the considerable age difference, like do your friends like understand the word games being played, like when you say abortion or calling it what it is, murdering a child.
Yep.
Yeah, it's much worse than saying women's health care, but obviously that has its huge drawbacks. If a woman sprains her ankle, Governor DeSantis is not trying to ban her health care and getting her ankle fixed. Like, if you have an appendicitis, just so you know, women, that's not what they're talking about. Nope. They're using a different term. So I'm curious, in your like age bracket, does that like register with people, the language games of your big lefty people?
See, I think for the lefty people that I know, it's like it's not a game to them. I think
yeah.
I think for some of them, the other thing, one, it's not a game, but two, I think for some of them, I think it's the older people because they lived through like Roe v. Wade and stuff like that. And when like there was more of it was a different level of contention than it is. I mean, today it's obviously contentious, but like it was nowadays it's the majority that believes that abortion is okay, or at least that's the loudest majority.
Yeah.
Believes that it's okay, as back then it was like, and like it was majority people thought like, okay, it was more of the Bill Clinton-esque, like even the people that thought it was okay, it was safe, legal, and rare kind of thing.
Yeah.
That lady's really funny, the one that you're on right now.
I was gonna say, I'm gonna
she's a bumpkin. But yeah, see what she has to say. But
what now?
A bumpkin. Like she like just listen. I say because she's holding a sign. DeSantis destroys our freedoms. I ask her, how does he destroy our freedoms?
You should
and her
start
response
asking
is
that.
priceless.
How does they destroy our freedoms? DeSantis has never mind. Well, I won't get into that. All right, check it.
Freedoms.
Books, for one thing. Women's right to their own bodies, body autonomy. Those are two things.
I want to get to this rainbow shirt lady.
My name's Gretchen Brandt, and I'm in Florida 6 months out of the year. And he defies the Amendment for Free Speech. The Don't Say Gay bill is atrocious. The banning of the books, trying to do with any gender studies program at the university. He's trying to eliminate black fraternities at the university. His motto is "Make America Florida," and Florida is one of the most unsafe places for a minority in this country.
Pause. So Florida is one of the most unsafe places. Do you remember how she started off her conversation with me?
No, what did she say?
She started off the conversation with me saying, I live in Florida 6 months out of the year.
So by choice, you go to the most dangerous place for a minority, which good thing that this lady appears to be white. Oh, but she's a woman. That have you ever thought that it is interesting that if you put all of the quote unquote minorities together, whether it is that you're brown or not white, but also women get attacked, minorities make up like 75% of the population, making the white man the actual minority.
I know.
The verbiage is always funny to me.
I know. That's absolutely, and I just thought it was. I just think it's so. And then she goes on to say that gay people are under attack and everything. I just flat out ask her. I just go, do you think that kindergartners through fifth graders should be taught sexuality? And she goes, it's not about sexuality. Can
I interject here with a thing that I saw? This is one of the more true. I don't even know who put this out. I just saw this somewhere on the internet and I thought it was unbelievably true. And it speaks so much to the culture of your leftism stuff. I'm just going to read it and let me know what you think.
Okay.
Leftists do not believe in the idea of hypocrisy, so pointing it out is useless. Neo-communist is a religion that tells its inherents. It tells its inherents that they are the only people who can understand the world and are morally good, part of the right side of the history. So they get to ignore the rules that will force you and I to think about things. It is a hierarchy, not hypocrisy. Even non-leftists see this heretics as by default. This was kind of more confusingly worded than I thought it was. But basically, they're saying pointing out hypocrisy is useless because they don't believe in that sort of thing, because they are one true thing that they're working towards is this whole leftist perspective. So pointing out why that's wrong doesn't even register to these people.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know. That seems pretty accurate here?
No, it's really what it. Well, and like I said, like she'll just deny. Go to about 6:15 is the next place you should probably go to.
Okay.
But
I like how you have these timestamps here. What did you use to edit this? What did you use to edit this?
Okay, iMovie.
No way.
Legit, iMovie.
Okay.
I used it for audio. I used it for video, and it worked great. All I did, I split a few things up. I equalized the audio, and surprisingly good. So
yeah, dude, super user friendly too. All right, we'll roll on.
Before you play, I want to set the scene a little bit.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the leader of like their local
Close
pride
your
organization.
eyes as Kevin Phares sets the tone for this idiotic video.
The video's not idiotic. It's the
people. Yeah,
people,
you're right. The people, with idiotic characters and Kevin Phares.
So this is the leader of the local pride organization. I just get done talking with her, and she tells me that I need a press pass to be out on the sidewalk.
Dude.
Yeah, legitimate. So push play. Just see how I talk to her and everything when it comes to
okay. All right. Oh, dang it. I screwed it up. Give me a second. Let me get back to it. 6:15-ish. All right.
Are comfortable that you walk the other way?
That's my entire plan. If nobody wants to talk to me, then I'll keep going. Yep.
The opposite way, please.
You can't tell me where I can and can't walk.
Just to make sure that the people here are safe.
They are safe.
And some people are not feeling so comfortable without you having your press badge on you.
I don't need to have my press badge on me.
They're asking you to have your press badge.
I don't have to have my press badge on me. Awesome. That's perfectly fine. And then these people are pushing this umbrella in my face and everything. That's interesting. Thank you. Let's keep going.
Dude, okay. All right. There's so many things right now in that 30 seconds. So when I was with Charlie at UC Davis, and that was the big one. I don't know if you'd seen that, where we got like doors smashed in on our heads, and by that I mean like I was the idiot that was filming right up against the glass, because it didn't even dawn on my head that these lunatics would break glass.
Yeah,
like it's just like, okay, we close the doors, like they're just gonna sit here and protest, and then they start smashing glass, and we're like, oh shoot, I did not think this through. Nope. But where was I talking? The umbrellas. So like they have these signs, and they have signs that they're holding up and they're making noise. But then when we start filming, they use umbrellas to shield their identities and therefore block the signs. So why make the signs if you're not allowed? It looks like here he's protecting you from rain. So thank you to that.
I say something like that later, like he's holding it still, and I just look up. I look up at the sky, and I'm like, it looks like it could rain at some point. Like, you're pretty smart. You're prepared. That's what I told him.
Okay, dude. Okay, so then the second thing that I thought when watching that is this whole idea of like, there's this fantastic book by a guy named Tim Sandifer. And it's called The Permission Society. And it basically outlines this whole idea of thinking that you need permission to do something, as opposed to, no, you have permission to do whatever it is that you want to do. And there are parameters that set around what you can't do, because obviously you have to live in a society that has rules, but the rules aren't, oh, I have to ask permission to do that. No, unless it's explicitly outlawed, you have the permission to do anything, including walking on a sidewalk. So I thought it's just fascinating that some people think like that. Like, oh, I need to ask permission. Oh, at the risk of going on for rambling too long, my wife and I were in England, or London specifically.
Yeah, I saw it on your Instagram, Matt. They looked like a fun trip. How was it?
It was fun. It was also so interesting to just like take in the news from somewhere else. First things first, the entirety of British foreign policy, and I think pretty much everybody's foreign policy, is like, we need to stand together and unite so that we can collectively tell the US that they need to fix the problem. Like, that's the entirety of like foreign policy of the rest of the globe. Like, we will stand together and hopefully the US can do something. But so they have a king, they have a monarchy over there. And without getting into how you feel about kinglyship, I was like, there's the changing of the guards. This is this big thing. The people that wear their big funny hats and their red vests and all that sort of stuff. We watched that, and I was like, this is basically adults playing dress up. Like, again, not to be rude to like their culture and all that sort of stuff, but like, none of this is meaningful, because when you talk about power, you really only have the power to do what your military allows you to do.
Yeah.
And that sounds pretty draconian. But at the end of the day, what I'm saying is the king doesn't matter. But I was curious. So like, throughout history, kings have been overthrown and kingdoms have been taken over and all that sort of stuff. This is not an uncommon thing. So I was curious. I Googled, what would it take to overthrow the king of England? Like, I don't know. Like, can Jeff Bezos?
And then you got arrested immediately, right?
Yeah, right. No, I
looked it up.
I used my VPN and make sure it wasn't being tracked. Hopefully.
Why is this man in South Africa looking up how to overthrow the?
Yeah. So I was looking up, and the first thing that popped up was this entire like Reddit thread of like, well, just so you know, overthrowing the king would be illegal. And I was like,
no,
duh. Like,
really?
I'm like. And if that's the reasoning as to why I shouldn't overthrow the king, you need to have better reasoning. Like, what it should have been the first thing is like, you would be met with an overwhelming amount of military force by the British military trying to overthrow their monarch. But no, it was like, well, that's illegal, so you shouldn't be able to do it. Which I feel like is a long, rambly way of translating to your experience on the sidewalk of people just have the mindset, well, you need permission to be able to do that. It's like, no, you don't.
No, it's a common like kind of debate. Like, is it better to ask for forgiveness or ask for permission? And I've always been a forgiveness person. If I want to do something, I'm going to do it. And if there's an adverse reaction that I didn't expect, I'll apologize for it and ask for forgiveness. So
we've got a comment from Denton says, you can walk free in Florida. Yeah, you can, but you also can walk free in Illinois too, without having to
be able to. If you go to about 950 is probably one of the next decent
I love
parts.
it. I love that you have like these time markers stamps in there. I feel like if you want to watch this, I'll throw the link in the comments here while we play this next part so that you can watch the entire thing. But we'll keep trucking on here.
We'll go all the way around here.
So these guys start following me and everything, right?
Awesome. We oppose authoritarian fascism. DeSantis
I'm reading the
supports
sign.
Fascism, not democracy. Interesting sign. It's a great phone you got there, Sarah. What is that? The 11? 12? Good one. Awesome.
What is that guy doing?
I should
He's
get a good
literally
shot
just
of
right in
everything
my
that's
face.
going on over there.
Then you got the Antifa member.
Wonderful. It's a beautiful umbrella prepared. It does look like it could rain out here at some point. So awesome.
But so they get me to this corner, right? And so they get me to this corner. They push me kind of into this corner. And they have that one guy with the phone on me. Come to find out that guy's actually he's like a local activist, like that a lot of people know. Ran for city council at one point, had to drop out because it came to light about his not one but 2 drunk driving incidents.
Oh, jeez.
Yep. Also is dating a current county board member. So I don't want to get too much into. I'm not doxing this guy or anything, but I learned all that. I didn't know that at the time, and I was like, wow, this guy has quite the record on him. I should have been a lot more nervous about the guy in the past.
So that's the other thing too, is like, I mean, I don't know. Do you have like, well, first of all, who are these people that like decide to talk? Like, did people actually talk to you right here?
So that guy, so what he tries to do, it's called, I learned this, it's called counter reporting. And so it's a thing that's like being taught to like leftists that go out to these, that are at these protests, that if like a conservative or somebody who is not like on your side comes up and tries to like talk to you, then they're supposed to start asking you the questions. And so he starts trying to figure out, he's like, so what's your coverage about the LGBTQ community? And then he asked me, how do you feel about gays in the military? And I don't know if you're at that part yet. I don't remember exactly
what does that have to do with anything? All right, let me play this really quick.
Let's see
play a little bit of this.
Every person should be treated like a person.
Okay, then
I'll go back just like
That's what our 13th,
about
14th,
30
and 15th
seconds.
Amendments explicitly say, actually.
right.
That's fine.
So you'd be okay with people using the restroom that they identify with?
I think they should use the restroom in which they were with the gender that they were born as.
That's the difference. Have you ever actually met a trans person?
Yes, multiple. I've had great conversations with many of them on my campus.
And
on
he's
your,
stunned.
on your campus.
Yep.
Which campus?
Illinois State.
Illinois State. I've never
Actually heard of you with RSO, or you guys?
Wait, did he say I've never actually heard of that?
No, he might have said that. I don't know. I think he's never heard of me before.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's what he meant. But the thing that was crazy, and it's just like the I'm a woman thing earlier. It's this is what I was doing to them, is I totally just destroyed their narratives, like in like a sentence, as I just destroyed their narratives. With the woman one earlier, she's like you're a man, and I said nope, actually not, and she like had to switch the subject. For him, it was, have you ever even talked to a trans person? Yes, I have. I have talked to trans people. I specifically seek out to talk to people that have a different way of thinking than I do, for the purpose of trying to expand my mind and expand others.
Well, and also,
so when I was able to, he was expecting to be like, nope, never even met one. And when I told him that I had, he was like, oh, well, like, where are you from? Like, he had to pivot again because it destroyed their narrative.
Yeah, I mean, my thought, and I think this is a pretty universal thought shared amongst conservatives. Like, if you're going to have all this time having logical, reasonable arguments, or arguments for things like actual like thoughts in your head about something, what's the point in like holding them to yourself? No, I want to seek out conversation that allows those ideas to be used.
Mm-hmm.
There's where were we? I think we were in Ohio. There was a bunch of protesters. This is it was me, Charlie, and Candace that were all there. And I don't know what I just went outside to the protester thing. Like, this dude with a megaphone was like sitting there yelling, and I stood up right next to him, like, hey, like, just so you guys know, like, any and all of you are welcome inside, and we will give you a microphone, which is guaranteed to be louder than his thing. And the guy like turns to me, he's like, are you going to let me finish? I was like, I don't have to let you finish. Like, there's no rules here. Like, what are you talking about? Like, this isn't a forum in which you can just decide that I can't welcome everybody inside. But yeah, the whole idea of like, this is, have you ever met a trans person? Like, yes. And I'm willing to have the discussion if you are. I'm curious, so I've done some man on the street stuff. You're obviously been doing man on the street stuff. Why do you think people talk? Like, shouldn't they? And so this is this. Sorry, let me expound on that really quick. Did you went to America Fest, right?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. So like during Charlie's like opening speech, talking about Charlie Kirk, by the way, in case you're not familiar watching this somewhere, during Charlie's opening thing, and this was a surprise to me, he played a video that I had from the University of Texas, Austin, in which the guy who I was talking to literally said, don't get up and don't argue with these people because they're smarter and you won't win the argument. So just don't let them talk to begin with. And I was like that, what? Like, is that the premise that you're going to base your political ideology on? But yeah, I don't know. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
So what I'm trying to say is, shouldn't these people know better than to talk and make themselves look silly?
Well,
in your opinion, how do you get them to talk to you?
So really, the first thing is, so I don't even like when I first started off doing like reporting stuff for this local radio station in Central Illinois. I used to like go up to people kind of shy, like, hey, like I'm with the radio station. Would you like to talk to me?
Yeah.
And now I just go up to people and I'm just like, here's the question. Give me the answer. Like, I don't ask them or anything. If they don't want to talk to me, they'll freeze up and then walk away or whatever. Like, and that's fine. I don't mind that, but I'm not going to sit there and ask you or anything. And so that's how I get some people to talk to me, is I kind of think I just catch them off guard a little bit.
Oh, interesting. And then they feel like they don't have, dude, see, that's fascinating.
I present kind of a false dichotomy. Like, it's either like, not even like a dichotomy. I offer one solution. Like, I give you, I walk up to them and I'm just like, talk to me. And they're like, well, I guess I have to, because he kind of said so. So
yeah. Well, that's an interesting component. And like out in public in the real world, I now have the understanding from behind the camera, like what you were saying, like you're giving these people like no other alternative other than to walk away. But a lot of people don't know that they can just do that. Yeah. Like if I ever get approached by somebody I don't want to talk to, I just walk away.
Exactly.
Like that's not shying away from an argument.
Several times.
I don't think that's shying away from the argument. I just think it's like, I don't feel like talking to you right now, and that's fine.
No, and the other thing I want to be clear too is when I do stuff like this, like I always want like those people, I want them to know that they have that opportunity to walk away. I'm not trying to corner anybody, but the biggest thing is I'm trying to give people a platform. Like, and I think that the quote that you had, like, don't talk to these people, they're smarter than you, kind of says a lot about it. Because I heard similar things. If you watch the full video, there's things that you hear people, not necessarily they're smarter than you, but it's like, don't even talk to him, don't talk to him, whatever, things like that. But
and also the thing too is like, I'm talking about like normal situations of like somebody comes up to you randomly on the streets and says, I don't know, one of the TikTok trendy things. I'm gonna be like, nah, no, thank you. Like I'm dumb. But if I'm
like the thing, like, do you trust your boyfriend or your girlfriend?
Yeah. Like dumb stuff like that. But if I'm out at a place where political conversation is expected, yeah, I'll have a conversation with you then.
Yeah.
Like if we're again at an airport and somebody just bombards you with a dumb question that's for TikTok, go find somebody else. But if I'm like at a rally where I'm protesting something
and you're wearing a shirt that says peace, love, this guy's wearing peace, love, journalism on his shirt. Like, yeah. And yet he's trying to ask me, if you keep going though, there's the next guy. It's the guy that has his phone in my face and he's a consistent activist. He starts yelling at me about the Proud Boys and everything. And he's funny. Because then I ask him why he's there. And I think that's one of the best parts of the video.
I did not say that.
Well, I'm trying to clarify. I just want to be sure with what you're saying. Have a wonderful day.
You as well. Yep, or in the past, before that part.
Make sure we're getting signs and everything.
Before that?
Yeah. Go back just a little bit more.
I was just asking kindly what they were out here protesting today. What are you guys out here protesting today?
I'm here making sure these people are safe.
Okay. And what would be a threat to their safety?
AR-15s.
So anybody owning an AR-15 is a threat to anybody's safety?
I did not say that.
Well, I'm trying to clarify. I just want to be sure with what you're saying.
AR-15s.
Are AR-15s specifically? So if somebody were to own an AR-15, that is automatically a threat to someone's safety?
Strongly just recommend not even bother talking to them. They're not.
Yeah, there it is.
Yep. Like, give one more second.
Well, have a wonderful day, guys. Thank you guys so much for engaging with me when you did. I support your guys' right to free speech. I hope you support mine as well. God bless you. I'm praying for you guys. Thank you so much.
Wait, give it one more second. You got to hear what he says at the very end.
Hail Satan.
Oh,
cool. That's the secular society for you right there.
That's
Hail Satan. I mean, yeah, he's just trying to push buttons though, right?
No,
like
but I think the funniest is, what are you out here doing today? I'm here to protect these people from what? AR-15s. Like what I really wish I said, and like I always come up with these things afterwards, but what I really wish I said is I should have been like, look, an AR-15, and been like,
well,
just like,
I mean,
one sitting on the ground. What is that going to hurt somebody, you idiot? Like,
without getting too like depressing and kind of crazy that you have to. We're currently in a society with the mental problems that it has. Like, you also, I probably the first question. I don't know if I actually would have asked this. The first question that would come to my head is like, are you carrying? Like, So, like, in what way? Like, let's just say, God forbid, somebody did show up and did what you think that you're protecting these people from. What would
Mhm.
you have done?
Well,
Be
so legally, actually, he could not be carrying. So if he was, it would have been illegal. Because as I mentioned earlier,
Really? Why is
afterwards, I
that?
found. Well, I remember afterwards, after the event, and after I posted this video,
Oh, you
it
found
was
out who he
revealed to me
was.
who he was, and because of his criminal activity, because of
Okay, so
his felonies regarding drinking and driving.
so then
It
what
was
is that? What does he mean by, "Oh, I'm protecting," well, like, how? Like, being o overweight
Well,
and
he's obviously just an intimidating individual with his phone, Joe Bob.
yeah,
Can you
dude.
not tell how scared I was?
Yeah,
I
well,
was so
honestly,
very
if
intimidated.
if I were you, I'd get I mean, maybe I'm a little, jaded at this point having, having had glass smashed into my face, more than a couple times. So, yeah, I don't know. Hey, yeah, the whole, like yeah, what a
I don't know. It
weird
gets
thing.
like these kinds of things, and I get people, and you've probably gotten this too. Like, how do you keep your cool in that situation? Like, have you heard that? Like, when from any of your situation or from any of your
You
videos or
know,
anything like that?
yeah, well, the obvious answer is I don't know that I do, but yeah.
Well, I mean, for me, the biggest thing is because like I've been like you, like I've been through stuff like that before. Not always on camera or anything. That's honestly what gets my heart pumping more is that I'm like I want to make sure that that I don't lose my cool on the camera or anything like that, especially for the
Yeah.
content because I want the content to be the best as possible.
Mhm.
I don't want to interfere with it. I want people to see exactly how these leftists are. Period. With minimal interference from myself. Uh,
Totally.
but like, I mean, I got assaulted by a professor my freshman year here doing work with Turning
That's
Point.
right, I
Right. So
forgot about that.
so yeah, so like I mean, I've been and then going out and
Well, he
tabling
still works
period,
there,
like
right? Hold on,
he
briefly,
does.
like,
Yep.
condense that story really quick. Just
Okay.
what
I was out hanging posters for Turning Point when I was trying to get the chapter
you
started here.
bigot.
I know. And then a professor comes by, not one of my professors. I just could tell he was a professor because he's an old fart. And he walks by and, and he asks me what I'm doing. I'm like, oh, I'm trying to get a Turning Point chapter started here. I'm just hanging posters. And he told me to enjoy hell. That's what he says to me.
Mm,
And so I kind of like follow him back to his office. And I'm just like, sir, like, why would you say something like that to a student? That seems inappropriate to me. That you would say something like that. And he runs back into his office and slams the door. Then I'm at
okay.
the door. I knock on it, and once again say, "Sir, like I'm gonna bring this up with your supervisor. If you don't either apologize to me or just kind of like have a conversation with me right now." And then he opens the door as I'm going to take a picture of like his nameplate,
Uh-huh.
and then he grabs me, tries to take my phone from me, and throws me to the ground. Then I
Dang.
get yeah, and then so that
Well
happens. We get divided kind of in the moment. I call our local police department. I file a statement. He files a statement. In his statement, he claims that I assaulted him. And there's no cameras in the building either,
well
which is just perfect. But
well, and also, like, then they use the whole language thing of, like, well, you can assault somebody with language, and, like, you gave
exactly,
him a dirty look, and therefore he was assaulted. But so this is one of the things that I feel like, and you're like one of the best examples of it, but the Turning Point chapter kids are unbelievably good at, like, keeping their cool. Which I because lefties can throw their little tantrums and have fits and break stuff, and that's what everybody expects from them. But also, on the other side of it, when stuff gets kind of rowdier than anybody wants, the Turning Point kids have been so good at just keeping their cool and not making themselves because in the same way that if Hunter Biden is doing, I don't know, cocaine and banging hookers, and everybody turns a blind eye. But if Trump Jr. is, like, I don't know, accidentally walks out of the store with a stick of gum that he didn't pay for, like, that's the front page news. So I
yeah.
feel like a lot of Turning Point kids know that
Well,
like that's what's on the line.
I think it's that. You want to know what else? And not to get too preachy on you here, but I think a lot of it also has to do with faith. I mean, like
Yeah.
us, like if a table is smashed, if even if our physical well being is threatened or anything like that,
Mhm.
for the most part, I mean, we believe that like what we're doing serves a greater purpose and is a part
Totally.
of God's messages. Like the lefties that are coming after us because they're secular, because they're atheists, a lot of them, they come after us and they see that the possessions that we have as being some of the most important things to us.
Yeah.
When in reality, the most important thing we have is our speech and the ability to and our
Mhm.
ability to speak. Is like to the lefties, it's oh well, if they can't get their literature out there, if they can't pass out these pins, if they don't have a table to sit at. No, here's the thing: is you could take away my table, you could take away this, you could even take away this microphone, you could take away the literature, the pins, everything. and I could still have a conversation with somebody, and I could still have my speech out there. That's why at the fundamental level, what we're fighting for is free speech, because the Second Amendment, I mean, yeah, that helps protect the First, but the rest of the Constitution, everything else doesn't matter if I don't have the ability to converse with somebody and have and spread a message through that. I mean, no, there's no way to change hearts and minds without having a conversation. And so, sure, take my table, smash the doors.
Well, hold on.
Everything.
Don't do that. But if you do,
yeah,
this is not Kevin Phares saying, "Hey, please smash my tables on the walks."
But you know what I'm saying is you could do all that. It doesn't matter. Break my legs. Not please don't. But like if you're so inclined to just hate somebody for what they believe in, sure, go and try to break my legs or whatever. I can still post a video onto Twitter like Tucker Carlson from my hospital bed. Like I could do that. And and you can't stop me. So
yeah, there's and this is not entirely segue, and not to get too political on this, because I don't know. This is Ronald Reagan is famous for saying that our lefty friends are not dumb. It's just that so much of what they know isn't so. Have you heard that quote before?
No, I have, and I think it speaks volumes. And I'm sure you have more to say about it too. But one of the biggest things that I've seen, and this is what happens at the college level, really, is that the biggest flaw in progressives that I see is that they think they are a lot smarter than they are. Because there are people like progressives, lefties that I've had that can have good conversations, but there are many where as soon as that they start getting challenged a little bit, they just start using really big words. Dude. And it doesn't actually say anything. They're really good at saying nothing and saying a lot, but it has no meaning. And so they expand everything to these really big words, and then they keep expanding the concept until it's basically a conversation about like what is existence, because they can't actually hone in on anything. And so when I say they think they're smarter than they are, they have that traditional knowledge of vocabulary and articulation, but at the end of the day, it's the concepts and the actual like putting the ties together for their ideology that just doesn't make any sense.
Okay, I'm gonna shoot. This is like a pixelated picture, because I want to like share this picture, because all right, so to speak to that point just really quick, because I think it's let's see, where is it this one? All right. Here we go. This lady named Robin DiAngelo.
Oh yeah, I've heard of her.
She's the author of White Fragility and among lots of other things. She wrote this book, Is Everyone Really Equal? An Introduction to Key Concepts in Social Justice Education. I read this entire book. I thought it was fascinating, and I didn't find any of her arguments compelling. And I read it with an open mind, but what I did notice, to kind of talk to your points of like, yeah, people are not necessarily as smart as they think. The entire first, I'd say 70% of this book was making the case of the ideas and concepts that are outlined in this book and throughout this movement are so difficult to understand. And they're so difficult that only really smart people could understand them. And what it did in my head, or at least what I can see it doing in a 22-year-old sociology major, is them going, well, I'm smart. I would like to be smart. I'm intelligent enough to grasp these concepts. And what it does is it tricks people in to thinking ideas that they know aren't true, but they've been told makes them smart. Like the entire book is saying, look, you may not be smart enough to understand this. This is just such a high level theoretical process that it just might not be for you. So every single 20-something, 18, 19-year-old soc major wants to be I'm smart enough to understand it, and therefore I buy into it and actually believe that they're true. So like I wholeheartedly agree that I think a lot of people are not entirely as smart as they pretend to be,
but they've been told, because they got a college education, because they read books like that, because they have a fancy piece of paper that cost them $100,000, which I'm one of those dummies too that's paying a crap ton of money for a stupid piece of paper. But they've been told that because they have that. Here's the thing: is I'm getting the paper because it's going to make me more money in the end. I mean, statistically, if you get a college degree, you're going to make more money in the end. But just because you have that piece of paper doesn't mean you actually learned anything. Doesn't mean you're actually educated. I can tell you, a mechanic knows tenfold what a sociology major knows in terms of life skills.
Yeah. And I like what you said there. Statistically speaking, people with college educations make more money long term and in their lifetime, which is fascinating as to why people want to bail out quote unquote student debt. That is the least progressive thing that progressives have ever pushed for. Okay, wait, hold on. So these people make more money than you statistically, but they had to go into debt in order to get the piece of paper that would allow them to do so. So we're going to bail them out. Talk about taking from the poor to give to the rich.
Seriously, absolutely, yeah. It's trickle up economics, I guess. I don't know.
Wow, it went into a lot more politics than I think I was thinking
that's
of.
what I know
No problem.
about.
Yeah, there's no rules here. I did want to show you this. I think this might be this is a total transition, a jarring transition for people who might be watching going like, oh, I like this discussion of the college educated mind and all that. This is not that. This is about as dumb of a thing that you can bring on the screen. Norm Macdonald
on The View, you said?
Yes, this is Norm Macdonald on The View in 2000.
How long has The View been on the air? Like,
oh, dude, for decades. Let me hold on.
So for perspective, to make you feel super old, Jobob.
All right.
This video came out the year I was born.
I hate you.
So I was
It's
actually
just rude. It's a rude thing.
November
for you to do.
16th, 2000. That's what it says. That was a month and 8 days before I was born.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So that's probably why you haven't seen it. That's probably why you uneducated young folks hasn't seen this classic piece of television history. So just to set this up, we're gonna watch this whole thing and pause where necessary because I'd just love to see your reaction to this. The View is just intolerable at this point, but at one time they had a lefty slant to things, but they still let people on. Norm Macdonald, for those people who don't know, got fired from. He used to host the weekly update on SNL. Did you know that?
Yeah, I did know that one.
So, and he got fired because he kept making OJ jokes. Like they kept telling him to stop making OJ jokes, and he would not stop making OJ jokes.
What a reason to get fired.
well, but think about like the context in which this is in. This is the early 90s. The absolute best comedy job in all of planet Earth was hosting the weekend update on Saturday Night Live because there wasn't the internet. Like you had to be on TV to be anything. And he had the #1 comedy job in all of entertainment.
Yeah.
And they said, Norm, you have to stop making OJ Simpson jokes. And he didn't. And he got fired from the best job in comedy. Like, so that should just tell you kind of what this guy's mindset was of just like, I don't care what you think. Like OJ allegedly clearly killed those people and I won't stop talking about it.
You should look up, and this maybe not just for this one, but look up at some point. OJ's on TikTok. And he's been responding to people. Like there was one, I gotta find it, but there was one where it was literally like this. He stitched with the girl, and the girl was like, okay, so here's a breakdown of how OJ could have possibly murdered Nicole. And then he stitched with it. I forgot what he said, but I just remember watching it die, but he stitched with it. Period.
No, go find it. You have to find that now. Now we're tabling the Norm Macdonald thing again because I want to see this. Okay, so first of all, okay, you find it. I'll talk about OJ Simpson. So OJ Simpson got on Twitter, and in case people don't know this, he's on Twitter. You know what? I'm gonna find OJ Simpson's Twitter and bring up to you the thing that he does that is the most irritating things, besides killing people allegedly. But OJ Simpson, when he goes on Twitter, he just makes these videos. And it's also, oh my gosh, it's so terrible. He comments on murder trials, and he's like, dude, read the room, man. Look at Okay, I'm gonna. Oops, I made that too big. All right, hold on. Let me. Oops.
I'm trying to find this for you, but I don't
Okay.
even know.
No, you take your time. I've
Okay.
got stuff to cover here. So I'm gonna find. Okay, so this is OJ Simpson's Twitter. He starts. I have not watched this video. This is the first thing that has come up. Let's see. It is. Oh shoot, I lost it. Where did it go? Okay. This week in court, Trump and Tiger. I don't know what he's talking about, but this is from May 10th. This is OJ Simpson. He starts off every single thing that he does with, "Hey everyone, it's yours truly," which is not how you start something. Like, it's yours true. Like, okay. So anyways, I'm going to play this video. I almost guarantee you that he starts it off like this. Ryan's comment section says, OJ, be like, follow me for more tips when he's commenting on murder trials. All right, I'm going to play this OJ Simpson clip. And this is OJ Simpson commenting on the news. Watch this.
Hey, Twitter world, it's me, yours truly. Well, it's not really the subjects that I like to talk about, but I'm getting a lot of questions from my friends and even a couple of people that just asked me at the store the other day, what did I think about a couple of these cases that are going on between, one with Donald Trump and the other one with Tiger Woods. When I first heard about E. Carroll's case against Donald, I didn't think much about it because I figured 30 years later, this is not going to go anywhere. And they said it was a civil case, which is kind of confusing. A rape is only civil, not criminal. But I didn't think it would go anywhere. Then when I saw they were going to have it, I said, well, come on, man. How many people could come out of the woodworks 30 years later and claim some celebrity or some rich guy did something?
Oh, did some celebrity do something, OJ? Like, read the room, dude. Were you able to find that thing at all?
I think I just sent it to you. I might have embellished. I'm not sure if it's actually his official TikTok, but the way that it's stitched makes it look like it's super serious, and I really hope it is actually him. And so I just thought it was so funny when I saw it. So
okay, all right, here we go. We're gonna watch this. Check it out.
I don't know if this is considered a conspiracy, but this is basically a little series on if OJ Simpson really did it or not.
Who knows? I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Oh my gosh! Read the room, dude.
It might be okay. In all transparency, like now that I've watched it again, it might not actually be his official one, but I just think it's so funny. Either way, there's a video of him out there saying, I don't know. Who knows? We're just gonna have to wait and see it.
Wait a minute. Okay, hold on. I think that probably was somebody just taking that and just like, but there is OJ Simpson Twitter videos of him talking about his trial.
Is there really? There's I see this one. Okay, so this is an account I found, and I'll send you this video too. This is an account I found when I was looking for the other one, and this is it says it's the official OJ Simpson, and this one has a video that has
is it verified? Is it actually like?
I don't know. I don't think this one's verified. I can't find one that's actually verified, but
okay, hold on.
That one's got stuff all about his Bronco, and like I don't know, man. A lot of these, I don't know. I just think OJ Simpson has just become such a meme of the 21st century.
The official OJ Simpson. I don't know if that's legit. I also know.
Okay, if you look at that account though, there's all these videos like what you were saying, where it's just OJ talking.
Oh, hold on.
Nothing else.
Let me go look at that account then. How do I? I'm not good at navigating TikTok because I don't really TikTok. Oh my gosh, it is.
Like,
hold on.
It looks like it's actually his account.
So
it looks like it.
That looks. Hold on. Let's.
This year, I've been blessed with 2 beautiful grandchildren, and they've been here with all my other.
That looks like OJ Simpson.
I know.
I mean, on his official.
For the world, yours truly. Well, let me start.
Dude, again, with the yours truly thing, he doesn't know what that means, I don't think.
No.
Like, hi, Twitter world, it's me, yours truly. No. You say it's yours truly, OJ Simpson, or it's me, OJ Simpson, not hi, Twitter world, it's me, sincerely. Like, what?
What a salutation. It's yours truly. I don't know. I think he said the way he says it though is like as if like you're just always supposed to know who I am. Like,
yeah,
dude,
well,
you're
people do.
Well, okay, to an extent, yeah, but he's on like new age social media. Like, I guarantee you, if you ask like a lot of your modern day influencers, be like, "Do you know who the Juice is?" And they'd be like, "Excuse me, like the Juice, like." Flipping Minute Maid, like I don't know, like, but I don't think they know who you're talking about. OJ Simpson, man, I think he thinks he's a lot bigger than he is. I mean, he is big, major, but like to the new generation, it's a little bit different.
There's other. So I just googled OJ Simpson on Twitter. Let me see if I can like find his first. How long would it take me to scroll all the way back down to OJ Simpson's first thing on Twitter? Let's see.
First.
Oh, so all right. So context here, if I remember this correctly, and I could be wrong on this, but I remember OJ Simpson getting on Twitter. Oh my gosh, he tweets too many things. I remember OJ Simpson getting on Twitter and saying, I've got some getting even to do.
I see that.
What?
I think
what
does
that mean, OJ Simpson? Oh my gosh, there's so many tweets. He posts selfie videos of himself just talking all the time. Apparently, if you want to know what OJ Simpson thinks about things in general, you can just find out through his Twitter account. I'm just going to share this screen really quick so people can see what I'm talking about. I'm just scrolling through his Twitter, and it's just video after video of him talking. Let's stop in. What is this? What does this one say?
It's yours truly. Well, yesterday I returned from Louisiana family reunion. To two of my house guests who's in town this week. One is a trumpet. He's from Fort Lauderdale, and the other one is just the opposite. And he's from Miami. And of course, with all the news being about the raid on Mar-a-Lago and former President Sedano's home, that's what the conversation was about. It.
I don't know what he's talking about there. But I don't think I'm going to be able to get all the way down to OJ Simpson.
I think I might have it. I'm not sure.
Yeah?
Send it to me. A video? Is it a video that he's
it's a video. Yeah, it's a video of him saying like, "Hey, Twitter world, I joined Twitter, and also I've got some getting even to do."
let me see. So if it's from 2019, does that sound about right?
Yeah, it is.
Okay,
it's from June of 2019.
I think I got it here. Let me see. I'll send it to you, and we can just watch it. This is what it is.
Oh, jeez. What are we doing, Kevin? What has this become? All right, we're gonna watch OJ Simpson's inaugural tweet. All right, here we go.
Hey, Twitter world, this is yours truly. Now, coming soon to Twitter, you'll get to read all my thoughts and opinions on just about everything.
Great.
Now, there's a lot of fake OJ accounts out there, so this one, at the real OJ32, is the only official one. So this should be a lot of fun. I got a little getting even to do. Take care. Hey, Twitter world, this is yours truly. Now, coming soon.
Dude, it's not the first time, and it won't be the last.
What? I got a little getting even to do. First of all, syntax, OJ. I don't know if that sentence really makes sense. I got a little getting even to do. I'm not sure what he said.
A little getting even.
The Twitter. I got a little getting even to do.
Oh, jeez.
I got a little getting even to do.
Why would you say that? Like, do you not realize? Like, that seems like some of the most jaded crap in the world. Like, would you not realize that maybe like everything you say that could potentially even slightly make you sound like a murderer will be highly analyzed?
Do you think that in his mind he doesn't think he did it?
I don't know. Like he literally wrote a book that was called "If I Did It."
I know. But like, I'm just curious. Like in the mind is a fascinating organism, of the brain, and just you can convince yourself of pretty much anything. And I'm just wondering if he, in his mind, again, this is allegedly, most people think that he probably killed his wife and that other guy. What was his name? I,
Goldman.
why do you know
Goldman.
that? Why?
Rob Goldman.
Why do you? Why is that a thing that? Why is that a piece of information that you hold in your head?
You know,
you're too young for that.
You want to know? Okay, so I love that American Crime Story show.
Okay,
And the
yeah.
first season of it was the O.J. Simpson. Second season was Gianni Versace, and the most recent one was impeachment, and it was all about Bill Clinton, and that one was amazing too. But yes, so it was so the first one was about O.J. Simpson, so I know way too much about that whole trial and everything.
Okay. So what? I don't even remember what I was talking about. O.J. Simpson. Oh yeah, like I think if you're that high profile, that kind of that whole situation, I think in his mind he might actually not think that he did it.
No, I completely agree. I mean, there's a thing in radio and it's kind of also in streaming a little bit too, but in radio especially, it's just the rule of repetition and so like if you keep repeating something enough, and this is something like the left uses, I'd even say probably the right uses it a little bit. But like you want to know, have you ever heard like Cars for Kids?
Yeah.
1877 Cars for Kids. Yeah, you want to know why you know it?
Yes.
It's because not only is it a catchy jingle, it's also just because they played it on repeat all the flipping time. Like,
have you ever thought about that? Just invest. You want to talk about investing in yourself? Just come up with a Kevin Phares jingle and spend $50,000 playing it throughout the country, everything. Because dude, that'll get you some earned media too. Like people will be like, "Hey, did you hear that Kevin Phares jingle?" And you'll probably be on TMZ. Like what? What even was that?
Yeah.
And you'll be like, "Oh, I'm a radio show host," and now people know who Kevin Phares is.
Well, and now it's used. TikTok uses it really well. I mean, that's what it's corn. A big hump and opposite has. Yeah. That's one. I mean, you got the one that was about a year ago now. It was "My money don't jiggle jiggle. It folds."
Yeah.
That one. I mean, it's a new age of it, but back like in radio and everything. I mean, that was they're actually. I know it's bringing it back into politics a little bit, but they used to do it a lot with political advertising too. So there was so if you go back to like Kennedy era, there's old political ads for Kennedy. It was one of them, and it was Kennedy.
Oh, that's
for me.
Fascinating.
You have that one. There was also one for Eisenhower, and it was "I like Ike, you like Ike, everybody likes Ike." Like it's like they have like jingles for them, and they're little things.
That's a fascinating piece of history. What's also fascinating is the fact that you know the jingles.
But it speaks to the whole thing. I can find one of them super quick.
Give me an "I like Ike" jingle. Dwight D. Eisenhower, America's only bald president. Seriously, there's never been a bald president.
Really, you're telling me about like under some of those wigs and stuff that the old ones wore, like it wasn't. They actually had hair.
Actually, let me rephrase that, and I might actually be wrong now. He's the first bald president in the TV era.
Gotcha. All right, so this is the Kennedy one I just sent you. Pull that one up because like this really, I just think this is really cool. I love learning about this kind of stuff, especially political advertising. I think it's fascinating, and I think this was really good.
Kennedy, 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 Kennedy. Do you want a man for president who's seasoned through and through, but not so doggone seasoned that he won't try something new? A man who's old enough to know.
All right, so
you get the idea of it, but it's literally just like the main jingle in it is just repeating the guy's name. So repetition. It gets it into people's head.
And so that also is a testament that politics has been dumb for a long time. I hate the fact that people don't talk about policy or ideas anymore. We just like what sounds the best.
Well, I agree with you, but I also kind of miss that we don't have like cute little commercials like that because nowadays it's like the opponent is going to destroy your life and here's the world's going to end in 12 years if you don't vote for these people. Like, why can't we have like these cute little like before the movies cartoons kind of thing? Just like, hey, this guy's kind of cool. Like
they I wish I had like the piece of paper, but I was on Timcast, and we were talking about this sort of thing, and
just,
I like
just casually dropping that. Like I'm here on a local radio show. And I was just on Timcast. Like
no, I don't know how I got there. I just did not. I was nowhere near the level of being able to go on that show. Anyways, we were talking about this sort of thing, and I had like a piece written out of like political something, and it was just this paragraph, and depending on how you read it, the same exact words, it could be a pro-Trump ad or an anti-Trump ad. Like Donald Trump supports the border wall, supports your Second Amendment, and is looking to further family and individual values. Or Donald Trump supports the border wall. He also supports the Second Amendment, is looking to promote your family values and individualism. Is that the president that you want? Like, you could just...
no, exactly. It's we're so divided nowadays where the same message pisses off half of them. Like, the thing is, it used to be like you could agree on like 90% of the issues, but then like where the taxes actually went was the thing that people disagreed on.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's like, man, everybody is so divided on either sides of it. Like you said, like you could say the exact same message in a different tone, and it would be either an attack ad or a pro ad. I mean, in Illinois, our Governor Pritzker, against our Republican candidate in 2022 for governor, he ran ads.
He ate him.
That was saying that he was.
Did Pritzker eat the opponent?
Almost, but no. But he ran ads that were literally like Darren Bailey is too conservative, and like when I would watch them, it would be like he's pro-life. He wants to get rid of the FOID card, which is our card that says you have to have that card to own a gun. He wants to lower funding to schools or something like. And I was just like, man, you sold me already. Calm down, Prince. Like, I already like the guy. Like, calm down. But yeah, and so you're totally right. It's just the way that nowadays everybody is so divided that the same message just causes incredibly different reactions.
At the risk of having a boring civics conversation, it's also this whole idea of the president in the past really wasn't supposed to do much. You're supposed to like make all of the laws that Congress passes run. And nowadays the executive branch has way too much power, which is the problem both on the conservative and liberal side of just
well, yeah, because like, and here's the biggest thing is like, it's a problem for both. Like people will be like, oh, well, it's really a problem. Like only if we get a conservative president or we get a liberal president. Well, it's a problem for both because of that exact issue is that it's a problem because as soon as things change, and that's why like when there's been recent conversations of like court packing and stuff like that, you don't want to set that kind of precedent because as soon as somebody else gets into power and they can do it, you're not going to like the result. So
yeah, exactly. Political ad. Sorry, political ad music. I wonder if this is like, I saw one of these that somebody did like put different music. It was like a happy-go-lucky music thing, and then happy verse minor. Let me see if I can find it because I thought it was pretty funny.
Yeah, I see some people in the comments say they grew up in Illinois and stuff. Everybody, I am in Normal, Illinois right now. I'm from Naperville, Illinois. So for all my Illinois friends, like heck yeah, Jody, I see in the comments there. We're still going strong. We're trying to bring some conservatism to the state. It's not easy, but we're doing it.
It's not easy a lot.
But you're in California, so like I mean, that's what I forget. Are you you're in Cali?
Yeah, no, I am. And California and Illinois are actually in a desperate race to insolvency. Whoever files bankruptcy first, I think the federal government will bail out the first state that files bankruptcy. I don't think they'll bail out the second. So I genuinely think California and Illinois are in an actual race to get to the bottom and be completely financially insolvent, so that the federal government will bail them out.
Absolutely. Who do you think's going to
win? Probably Illinois.
Really? Because I think it's California right now because of all your guys' reparations crap.
That I don't think it'll ever happen. What I think is interesting about because you got to factor in the variables. So Governor Newsom is clearly running for president, and I don't think he wants California being the first state to file for bankruptcy on his resume.
Yeah,
He also just came out like 2 or 3 days ago and said, "Oh, by the way, the deficit is like triple what I originally had told everybody." So maybe, I don't know. I think JD Pritzker has less of an incentive, politically speaking, to not go bankrupt first.
He might run for president. There's a chance he might run for president or roll for president.
I was going to tell you, JD Pritzker is not running for anything. If anything, he'll waddle for president at his own speed.
Yeah, I always call him bowling ball Pritzker. Like, that's what I usually call him. I know some other people on our radio station, they call him Jelly Bean Pritzker, but I think he's a bowling ball. I mean, when he wears a big black suit and everything, it looks like the 3 buttons are where you'd put like your fingers, then you roll them down and just have him destroy all the pins are the state's economy, and he just rolls right through them.
It's JB. I've been saying it's JD.
No, it's JB. He's crazy. If you look back, a lot of people don't know this, but Rod Blagojevich from Illinois, the one that tried to sell Obama's Senate seat.
Yes.
Okay. So
didn't try. He did it, didn't he? Well, no, he got convicted of doing it. He went to jail for that.
Yeah, he did. And then Trump pardoned him. But so JB Pritzker actually was implicated in a lot of that. There's FBI phone calls between JB and Rod Blagojevich, where JB was talking to Rod about where JB could get possibly into it was like a state position of some kind, and he was like he has been a manufacturer of corruption as much as our former governor that went to jail.
What's that crazy statistic in Illinois of it was like 4 of the last 5 governors have served prison time or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know the exact statistic, but yeah, everybody calls us the Windy City.
I was just gonna say, I just told my wife about this the other day.
Yeah.
Explain it. The Windy City is not because of the
this is the funniest thing. From a young age, I've learned so much about Chicago history growing up and stuff like that from growing up near Chicago. And so the Windy City, it's not because we're windy or anything like that, or because we're by the lake, as some people would be like, oh, it's just the lakefront winds. No, screw you. It's
it's the corruption.
It's the corruption. It's because it's been corrupt here for so long. Chicago's last Republican governor, Big Bill was his name. I forgot his last name, but Big Bill was what everybody called him. And he was known to literally just pretty much allow the mob, because he was back in the 30s, pretty much just allow the mob to come up with every rule and legislation. He let people do everything. He was a part of all the different organized crime that was going on, and it's been like that since then. I mean, even the dailies, it's been said that it was because of Daley and the unions in Chicago back in the 60s that got JFK elected, because a lot of people just rose from the dead in Chicago and went out and voted. And so,
don't even get me started on the whole stolen election thing. Yeah. Why can't I think of the dad's name? What's his Kennedy Sr. Clearly stole the 1960s. Was it 1960 or 64? When was Kennedy?
JFK was elected in 1960, I believe. Yeah, because it would have been that's 40 years before 2000, so it's a multiple of 4. So it would have been.
Yeah, you were talking about stolen elections. Yeah, Nixon 100% had a viable case, but decided, for the good of the country, I'm not gonna go that route, which is his own prerogative. But you talk about the history of quote unquote stolen elections. Yeah.
Oh no, that was one of the ones
Senior,
that's well established that election was we're not allowed to say it on YouTube, but we know what we mean. There's another piece of Chicago history though I did want to say too. So do you know what Chicago actually means?
No, but I also don't know if I'm going to trust what you're about to say.
No, this is in the Chicago History Museum.
Does it count?
You could Google this. This is absolutely verifiable. You learn it from kindergarten growing up in the city of Chicago. So Chicago is actually a Native American term. And it means stinky onion. Not even kidding.
It actually means stinky onion.
Chicago means stinky onion. I will send you a link to show you.
Stinky.
This is a well-known fact in Chicago.
The stinky onion, the Shikawa Sticky onion is the name for a garlic plant, not an onion. Chicago's, let's see, original origin is the French version of the Miami, Illinois word stinky onion. Wow, interesting.
Yep.
Why?
I think it was probably, I don't know why. I can't tell you that much, but it means stinky onion. And I'm telling you, our politicians here are stinky onions. But
well, that's great.
True. It's 100% true. I think it's funny. Like Los Angeles, the Angels. New York is just like New York is a flippin' Frank Sinatra song. So is, Chicago's also a Frank Sinatra song, but New York at least doesn't mean stinky vegetable or like smelly onion. So like, man, Chicago of the 3 largest cities has the dumbest name. I'm telling you.
Not dumber than the Anaheim / Los Angeles Angels. Do you follow baseball at all?
Oh yeah. That's so.
The Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. One, that's just ridiculous to begin with, but if you translate it, it's the Angels of Anaheim.
Yeah.
All right.
I've heard that one before. I think that's hilarious. Yeah.
Anyways, hold on. This is a funny comment. The wind blows so hard in Chicago that pennies on the ground turn to bullets and shoot people. Is that what's happening?
Okay.
Oh, dude, we could have fixed that.
Speaking of that comment, I don't know if this is a wives' tale. There might actually be a news article somewhere about that. But I remember hearing when I was in like elementary school, when we were going to Chicago, that you had to be careful near the Sears Tower because if a coin dropped from the top of the Sears Tower, it
probably could kill you.
Put a hole through your head. And like everybody was talking about how it actually happened to somebody at one point. A coin was dropped from the top and it put a hole through somebody's head. So I don't know. That's what it reminded me of. Yeah, we got somebody's mentioned Lori Lightfoot too. We have like the most memeable people. Somebody in the comments is mentioning Lori.
No, but who's Lori Lightfoot? Is that? Oh, do you mean Beetlejuice?
Oh, Beetlejuice. Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. Okay.
Beetlejuice. No, but we just have some of the most memeable like politicians in Illinois. I mean, JB Pritzker is literally like the most round person I've ever seen.
Well, did you see this picture that I had up of good old
I saw that
JB. Yeah, JB's.
It's Pritzker's fat stomach.
Yeah, somebody made a Twitter account for JB Pritzker's fat. I think that is the signal that you've made it. Is somebody starts making Twitter accounts for some trademark
or like your appearance or like something.
Yeah. like if you have a beard, like so and so's beard, or like I don't know if you wear the crucifix the cross necklace everywhere, but Kevin Ferris's necklace cross.
Yeah,
like once that has a Twitter account, then I think you've made it.
I have one that I follow, and I don't know what it's related to, but it's something with Matt Walsh. Let me see what it is. I think it's like Matt Walsh's goldfish or something like that.
Are you familiar with Smod?
Smod?
Smod is it at Smod on Twitter?
That's from Rick. That thing's from Rick and Morty.
Is it really a Rick and Morty thing?
That picture is from Rick and Morty.
I think. Okay. Well, do you know what Smod is?
No idea.
It is Sweet Meteor O' Death. And it's the most nihilistic Twitter account. It has 130,000 followers, and it's just people saying the world sucks, everything sucks, this is terrible. Oh, followed by Matt Walsh. That's hilarious.
That is hilarious. I gotta follow. No, but that is a Rick and Morty picture though. And it's kind of funny because it's something similar. The whole premise of the Rick and Morty episode is like dinosaurs actually come to planets to try to help people, and like they help civilizations, and then there's like meteors that are sentient that hate dinosaurs, and so every time dinosaurs leave a planet, a meteor destroys it. The dinosaurs like, what the heck? We were trying to just help all these people, and the meteor comes in and destroys everybody.
That's hilarious. Hey, I don't want to take up too much of your time here. I realize I've just looked at the clock. We've been doing this for an hour and 15 minutes, but we didn't even get to this Norm Macdonald thing. But I feel like we should do this again and actually watch that.
Do the Norm Macdonald thing. Totally.
But I appreciate the time. This is exactly what I wanted this thing to be. There's no. Well, I think we got a little bit serious at times, but not. I don't know. The whole.
We just let the conversation flow.
Yeah, just rock and roll and make fun of JB Pritzker. Hopefully, you're safe after any of those JB Pritzker puns or jokes.
I'm totally fine. I make so many jokes about JB Pritzker on my show. So,
where can people find you, Kevin?
I'm sending a link right now in the private chat if you want to put it out there. I'm
Yeah.
Speechless with Kev Phares. Speechless with Kev Phares on YouTube. Last name Phares. I know it's spelled weird, but Speechless with Kev Phares. Go like, subscribe, share. I know you posted that video earlier that I did with all those protesters. Everybody go check that out. That was good. But you guys can all go check out that link that Jobob just put in there. That's my YouTube channel. I'd love if you guys like, subscribed, and shared. And I love Jobob. We'll do something again for sure.
Are you going to be in West Palm Beach next month? 2 months from now?
I think it's like 2 months. It's July, isn't it? I think.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm
going?
still so confused. Okay, can you explain? And this might be even helpful for anybody that's watching, because I'm used to the Student Action Summit, and now it's like CLS. There's also, I think, a Turning Point Action Conference. I don't know if you're going to talk about that, but then there's also the Student Action Summit Experience.
So, to my understanding, SAS is become more of like an educational thing, and so they're kind of like making SAS and CLS, which is the Chapter Leadership Summit. And I could be totally wrong. I'm not the best spokesperson for this, making it kind of one thing. And the goal is more like activism based, rather than, because, you have I don't know. And maybe I'm speaking out of turn here, but I think America Fest and SAS were effectively the same thing. You have not the same thing, like different experiences, but kind of the same kind of format. And so I think there's more of a push to go, all right, let's make, the Student Action Summit and CLS, the Chapter Leadership Summit, kind of like a more experiential learning thing of how to go do the actual stuff on campuses. And then America Fest will continue being kind of the big pinnacle of everything going. So I could be wrong.
And I don't know if this is something that you're even going to or talking about or anything, but I'm just curious about, there's a Turning Point Action Conference now too.
I don't know anything about that. Okay. I think, I don't know I don't know. That's
obviously you're more USA than Action. I was just curious if you knew anything.
Yeah. But this should be a good time. I think that'll probably be the next time I see you. If I go, I might not go. That's like 2 weeks before our baby's due date. And,
oh really? Yeah. You forgot. I forgot you're pregnant.
If they were, well, I'm not actually. My wife is.
Well, no, but like it's like the 21st century thing. Like we're pregnant. Like like it's the.
But I didn't do any of the hard part. I actually. This is graphic. I did my favorite thing in the world, and then waited for 9 months.
You're
so
disgusting.
I don't know. I don't know how much congratulations I deserve on that front. But
no, tell your wife I'm praying for you guys, and congratulations on that.
Thanks, man. So yeah, that'll do it for us. We'll see you next time. Whenever you can come back on. This is I'd like to do this more of a thing. I don't know how big of a chunk of your day this took.
This was like nothing for me. This was the best part of my day.
Oh, last thing really quick. I feel so bad. Kat texted me to come on and talk. I think Tucker Carlson like a week or two ago.
Okay.
And I just forgot to text her back. It also, and this is like with the time change, it was like 6 a.m. your time, which is 4 a.m. my time. I'm like, ooh, that's a little rough. Sorry. I would love to pre-record something. So if you,
I'm sure she'd be more than happy to pre-record something. And like now that we use like you do, we use StreamYard. So like it's not, and she knows how to use it enough where she could, you guys could do that.
We'll pass on that message if you see her around the office. Appreciate it.
Awesome.
All right. Kevin Phares, thanks so much, man. Really
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Have a
Rock
good
and roll.
Bye-bye.